Hi, welcome to February So Fun. My name is Terry. I am here to show you stuff for February and for some other months as well. So the first thing I'll start with is a bird brain design. Summertime basket of flowers is what it's called. When you print out the instructions for the bird brain design, she gives you all the instructions to finish this up. I did mine just a tiny bit different because she added a 3/4 inch binding on it, and I thought it was just easier to put a border and a binding. This was so fun to stitch out. The fun thing about this is it looks like you could have hand embroidered it yourself. So it takes a little longer than my normal bird brain designs because usually they're one color. This one had multiple colors, but it's just beautiful the way it stitches out. On these two pieces, I hooped them at the same time and stitched them out. And then when I put them together, I turned one way and one the other. So she gives you the colors, and of course, I chose different colors. She had blues, I did purples. And it was just a really fun one to make up. It doesn't take very long. I think I was finished probably in one day, but in less time than that. The next project I have is this book called Welcome to Woodberry Way. It had several different things in it. It's kind of based on around Christmas, but you can do, there's pillows in the back, there's 2 or 3, even 4 different kinds of quilts, a couple table runners, and my favorite, the reason I liked the book, was the little rug. So the rug, you cut your strips, you made them into bias tape, and then you braided them. So I would braid like 3 or 4 inches, leave the needle, and then I would start stitching with a zigzag, and you're just starting in the center and going out. I would leave the 3 or 4 inches, stitch them, then I'd leave the needle down, and then I'd braid about 3 to 4, maybe 6 inches more, and stitch it with the zigzag. So when you're all done with the zigzag stitching, you then take and you put a single stitch in the middle because everything's flat. It's not on a braid. It's just fabric alone. This is a nice small little size, and I plan on putting it in my glamper in the bathroom. So that was a fun project to do. My friend Sally stitched out the table runner. She made hers quite a bit smaller. They had several blocks, so it could be a very long table runner if you wanted, but she just wanted a small one. When she quilted it, she stitched in the ditch around here, and then here in the border, she did a fancy stitch from her sewing machine. We don't use those very often, so it looks really cute the way she did that. And this is from the book called Woodberry Lane. Woodberry Way. The next project I want to talk about is the Quilted Element coat. This coat is a fantastic pattern. You can use denim, you can use corduroy, you can use an old quilt, you can use a new quilt, you can use the fur, you can use cuddle. She calls it cuddle, which is like minky. There are so many options on this quilt. And so I took her class that was being offered when I first got the pattern. So I learned some things that aren't in the pattern. For instance, I learned about doing the seams with the Hong Kong binding. So this is the first quilt I made years ago, I would say 10 years ago. I decided to do a grandma's flower garden, and I got all the flowers made, but I never put it together. So I laid my pattern piece down on the floor. I placed the flowers where I thought they should go, and then I sewed in the white hexes. So this is all sewn by hand, the quilt part of it. I didn't want it to be too heavy, so I didn't do a minky lining. I just did a flannel lining, and I quilted it on my embroidery machine. And I made the shorter version, which is the hip version. I like the way it turned out. It's very fun to make. It doesn't take long. There's 3 patterns for the pieces for the coat, and then if you want to add a collar or a hood, that's extra pieces. The next coat I have is made from the companion pattern for the elemental coat. So it is this coat here. You cut strips of fabric and then you cut it into the diamond shape and put it together. So this is not made from a quilt. It's made from that, which pieces, you have one big piece for this front, one big piece for that front. So you piece it together that way and there's no waste. This one, my sister did for me. She really liked this black and white fabric. She lined it with a cuddle fabric, which is nice and soft. She put the buttons all the way down the front. She put the hood on, which follows the pattern. The hood has the same type of a pattern. And from the class, I learned about the Hong Kong binding, so I showed her how to do that, and she did the Hong Kong binding as well. I thought this turned out really good. She made the longer length, and I just really liked it. So I decided I will be teaching a class in the Littleton store in April, so I decided I needed to do one that you can purchase the fabric already quilted. So I went to Joann's, and this fabric was quilted all the way, so I didn't have to do any quilting. All I had to do is go home and cut the pattern out and put it together. So you can see the Hong Kong binding around the pocket area and on the seams. She has you use a clapper, so you steam your seam really good and place this clapper on there and apply pressure, which makes your seams nice and flat. This one I finished off with a zipper. I turned the cuffs up, made them extra long and turned the cuffs up so you saw the inside. So then when I put the collar on, I wanted the inside to show on the collar as well to match the cuffs. I can't say enough about this pattern. It is so nice. I totally enjoy it. I have seen pictures of it made with denim and corduroy as well. There are just so many options for this pattern. I loved it. And that's the Quilted Elements. The next top that I made this time was called the Strata top. And it is a super simple beginner pattern. It's not made with stretchy fabric. It's made with cotton. This was the first one. The blue one that I made just out of cotton fabric. It's got your front and your back piece cut on the fold, and then you have a bias strip that goes around the neckline. This is the second one I did, and I used from my FOF some of the ribbon work that they have and put on there just to give it a little bit of point of view there. This is where your bias goes around the neckline. It goes together very quickly. The front is shorter than the back, which is really nice and flattering on your figure. I did make mine 1.5 inches longer than what the pattern showed because I wanted it to be a little lower on the waist. So that was a very easy pattern to top to make. It's called the Strata top. This time I ordered in the side slinger from Studio Cat. I really like this pattern. Her pattern instructions are very detailed, which is nice, but sometimes I think they were so detailed I was confused. So she gives you I think this is the left side slinger, It's an over-the-shoulder one. There's a pocket here that has a sew-in snap that you sew as you're going, but it just has a piece of fabric in front, so it connects really well. This is the pocket for your phone. There's this middle pocket here that's very large. It goes clear down to the corner here. And I have stuffed my wallets a little fatter than this, and it fits in there very nicely. There's another zipper here, which shows, which I can put my keys in. It's got these little darts here to give it the shape. And then there's a zipper here that is completely the whole thing. So it looks very flat, but you can really stuff it full and get a good feel on it. So this is the left side slinger. My sister chose to use the cork, and she did the right side slinger. So it's got everything in there the same. It just kind of puckered up a bit. So the first thing she did that the pattern didn't say was she put leather back here, and it should have been just plain fabric. And so it kind of shrunk it all down. The phone doesn't quite fit in the pocket because it just made it a little narrower. But it's still nice. It's got the snaps like the other. It's got all this room here. And it has that one on the back side as well. So it's got lots of little pockets. It can be made for a lady or for a guy's bag, depending on the fabric choice. And it's just a nice bag for shopping or for when you're traveling. I think I'll move over here for a while. Here's another bird brain design I did. The Hum of the Bees is what it's called. And it too is multiple colors. It's made on tea towels. And it also looks like you hand stitched it. So here's one of the designs I did. You just put it on the towel because it already had markings on it and all. I thought it turned out really nice. I loved the stitch, the way it stitches out. This one here, I put a little border on the bottom with a flange just to let it pop out a little bit, and I thought it turned out really cute as well. So this is called The Hum of the Bees by Bird Brain, and it's just a nice little pattern. This pattern's called Spring Fling, and my friend Sally loved it, so she did every one of these little pattern pieces. They're all applique, machine appliqued. She did the Easter Bunny, and she decided to give him an eye and a fluffy bow instead of a flat bow like the pattern called for. She just pinned the bow on, so when you need to wash it, you take it off. She did all of the quilting on her domestic machine. She is great at doing freestyle quilting, and this is called McTavishing. The next one she did was for St. Patrick's Day. It's so cute, all of her fabric that she chose. I love it. The only thing she said is the little coins were oval, and she did not like that, so she just drew around a spool of thread and put round coins on there. Again, this is all machine appliqued, and she just echo quilted around this one, which made it really cute. This is the last one that is in the pattern that she did. She added a little bird at the top. She said she just Googled a bird and cut it out. So she quilted this with McTavishing as well. One thing she did say is if you're using light fabric on top of a darker fabric, be sure to line that fabric. She did not do it here, so you want to make sure you think about that when you're cutting your stuff out. And this is called Spring Fling, and they're just little skinnies that can hang on the wall or be used as a table topper. The next pattern I have has 6 modern day table runners in it. It's called Volume 2 by Cluck Cluck Sew. The first one I did was for February, and I thought it made a very nice table runner. These table runners are larger than what I normally make, but I just loved how cute it looked and how easy it went together. I quilted mine with hearts on the embroidery machine. The next one my sister did with batiks. So there are 5 leaves on here. 2 of them are kind of muted and you don't see them, but the 3 that you see are great. Again, it's nice and large. She quilted it on her embroidery machine as well and used a variegated thread, which just really stands out and looks really pretty on it. The last sample of a table runner from the book was made for the 4th of July. I did that. And all I did on it was do a great big square on each square for the quilting of it. And I stitched in the ditch around the squares. So all of these went together very easy. None of them are really complicated patterns. And this is Modern Holiday. I have a few things that aren't exactly a pattern, but there are little notions. We have a new book, Crafting Deception, which is volume number 2 from the last one. We also have this nifty little thing. It comes apart, so in the bottom, there's this little screwdriver, so you can unscrew this and put a used rotary blade in there. You can carry it wherever you're going this way, flat, so you don't get cut on the rotary blade. And when you get to where you're at, you just put it together. There's little magnets, and you set this in here. So that way, you'd set it with this. So your rotary blade would be right there, and when you chain stitch, you just bring it over here, and it's done in no time flat. This is a tried and true. I have it in my sewing room, and I use it all the time. We ordered in these nice little tips for the glue. These are great when I'm quilting on my embroidery machine. The edges of my stuff sometimes doesn't stick down as well, or I don't get it put down with my thread as well. So these little things come out with a nice little tip, so you could go right along the edge, stick it down, and then your embroidery foot will not catch in it. And I just use a regular glue stick. That's a child's glue stick. It washes right out. The next item we have are these little jeweler screwdrivers. They're great for all kinds of things in your sewing room, on your sewing machine. And if you don't want it for yourself, they make a great gift to get to your husband. My husband said, "What are you doing with those? I really like it. I want them." So I will probably let him keep them in his room, but I will use them. This is a tried and true project here. I did this project the very first time for my very first Sew Fun, which was it was done in COVID time, and it was only filmed, so nobody really got to see these, but I use these bags at the grocery store all the time. It's called the Simple Sack. It's tried and true. So this bag you can take to the grocery store, and as you can see, you can hook it all on and stuff it fully. Sally made me one out of canvas, and it hangs the same way. It's very pretty. And I have this one also from the very first time I did it. This is how it folds up. So I put it in the pocket of the door of my car. That way when I get out, I remember my grocery bags, because I still have trouble remembering that. So when you fold it, you're going to iron it flat this way on the bottom. When you fold it up, you're going to put your straps down inside. You will fold this in. You fold this down, you fold this up, and then you just turn it inside out on your pocket. And then you're ready to go for the next time. So this is called the simple sack. Very, very easy to make. You can make one up in half a day. This fabric Mallory has ordered in, and it's called laminated cotton fabric, I think is what it is. And so this one's a little harder to fold just because of the plastic on the outside, but I like it the best because I feel like it can carry a little bit more weight and it stays open easier for you. I think I am down to, oh, I want to show this. We ordered in some cute little towels, and they're just towels that have quilting designs on them. This one here, here's one. And this one here I had some fun with. These will make great gifts for any of your quilting friends. So if you can imagine this as the handle on your oven, you're going to hang your towel on there, and you're going to bring it around, and you're going to snap the little edges together. So this keeps it secure on your oven handle. You can adjust it so it's tighter up there. And these are just those little snaps that I introduced a few months ago. So this is just a cute little way to display the towel. And it makes it extra. Otherwise, you could just buy it and give it to your friend with nothing on it. But it only took like 2 seconds to put those snaps on. Okay, so now I'm down to a pattern that's called Monor. It makes a baby size, a throw size, and a queen size. So this is my throw size that I made up. It is scrappy or pre-cut. So I just use scrappy. It's from my stash that I have at home left over from other projects that I've done, and just put it together, mixed it all up, and I think it turned out really cute. I took it to the quilter and she quilted it for me. So it was a fun project to do, and it's called Monor. The last book I have actually is called The Best of Jelly Roll Quilts. This was my favorite project book of everything that I did this time. There are so many different options that you can do. Here's a, oh shoot. Here's one of the Bargello quilts, and this is a little tiny quilt for a baby you could make with teddy bears. There's a log cabin with hidden stars, which I really wanted to make. I just didn't have enough time. The first quilt I made out of here is called Basket Weave. I chose it because it's hexies, because at least every time I do it, I do one hexie project. So this is what I did with it. I did not want white background because I already had white background. So I chose the blue to go with this roar, Creativity Roars. That's what this jelly roll is called because it's really bright and different. I thought it was really fun to put together, and in the book it said when they quilted it they put dragonflies, so when I took it to the quilter I told her I wanted dragonflies on it, and I think she did a very good job with that. The next one I did is called Tumbling Blocks. Tumbling blocks I thought turned out really cute. I loved the dimension that it gave it. For that one, I used Land of Enchantment jelly roll, and we brought both of the jelly rolls in. This is made in strips this way, so it was not hard. There's no Y seams. It was a very easy one to do, and I think it just looks really cute when you look at it. You can see all the little tumbling blocks there. And I just stitched in the ditch to quilt it up. It was very easy to do. So I loved doing this, and I made mine a tiny bit smaller, and I had some of these strips left over, so I just put it in the back So I used up all the strips. So that was a very good thing. Again, this book is called Jelly Roll Quilts. It's the best of the Jelly Roll quilts. She has several designs in there, and they're all made with one jelly roll. Thank you for coming and watching. I'll see you in a few months.